Welcome to today's District 5020 Membership and Public Image Summit. Thank you for those of you who've made it online. We were hoping to hold this in Tacoma, but today we will be holding these online. My name is Coard. I'm the District 5020 Membership Development Chair. I'd like to introduce Katie Coard. Katie Coard is the District 5020 Public Image Chair, and she also is on the Zone 2627 Public Image team. Katie, welcome.
Thank you, Corey. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning and being flexible in how we present this training. So the first presentation is going to be talking about branding your club. We're going to look into club branding and how by knowing who our clubs are, we can incorporate that into a vision that's kind of strong and lasting, and we can make that into a really strong marketing campaign. So the goal of brand marketing is to link your identity, values, personality with communications to your audience. So basically your brand is the bridge between your product and your customer. So like I was saying, so your brand is the bridge between your product and your customer. But brand marketing isn't just about putting the logo and your business name as many places as possible and expecting to generate sales. It's more involved in that. And at the beginning of this presentation, I kind of wanted to get a little bit, I want to say philosophical, but a bit more deep about what brand is, and then we're going to look at some examples. So branding used to refer to putting a label on a product or like a company asset. It originated from branding a horse. So you say, I own this. This belongs to my company. Nowadays, branding still stems from the company logo, the name, but it's evolved to become a lot more dynamic and multifaceted. So brand isn't just a logo. It's not an identity. It's not a product. A brand is someone's gut feeling about a product or a service or an organization, in our case. And products aren't ever just products. You interact with these products expecting an experience. We buy them with that experience in mind. But simply, your brand is what your prospect thinks of when he or she hears your brand name. So it's what comes to their mind when they see your brand name. It's everything the public thinks it knows about your name brand, whether that's factual or emotional. So your brand name exists objectively. We can see the logo. It's fixed. But your brand exists in someone's mind. It's based on intuition, a gut feeling, and experiences. So when we create a brand, we create it using something called brand architecture. And bear with me, I'm going to try and explain this so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from. A brand has a core concept, and around it, it is able to move and change. So I'm going to use Starbucks as an example to kind of explain more about what I mean. So when we see the Starbucks logo, we all get a gut feeling. We all get some kind of intuition. We get an idea about the experience we're going to have if we interact with this brand. We know we're going to go into this store, it's going to look a certain way, and we're going to get a coffee or whatever. We know what it's probably going to look like, what it's going to taste like. That's our gut feeling. That's our experience with the brand. And that is the core Starbucks brand. Every Starbucks you go to, you can expect the same core brand values. But within that core brand values, it is flexible and it allows some change. So example of this would be the individual Starbucks stores. So each of them has the expectations to expect, but they might be individually different. So a good example is if I brought a cinnamon bun from a Starbucks in Victoria, they would just give it to me cold in a little brown paper bag. But if I buy a cinnamon bun in Tokyo, I know that they will ask me if I want it to be heated up. They will put it in a more fancier bag than a little brown paper bag. And that is the flexibility of the Starbucks brand, but they all remain true to the core Starbucks brand. So I think we can really apply that to Rotary. So we have the structure for the Rotary brand, which has been created by Rotary International. but it's flexible, and it needs to be flexible enough to accommodate all our different clubs, because we're all unique and we all do different things. But at the core, we are Rotary clubs, and we have that Rotary values, the Rotary brand. So what we're going to do is, I really want to get to the core of what the Rotary brand is, and then we're going to look at how each club can be flexible within that brand to kind of create a marketing campaign, a club branding for their club. Okay, so first of all, we're going to look at Rotary's vision statement. So we're going to look at the overarching Rotary brands. This is the brand that stays constant and it's true, and every Rotary club adheres to this core brand. And it says, together we see a world where people unite, take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities and in ourselves. So we as Rotarians exist under this vision statement. RO says we take action, create lasting change around the globe. And as our individual clubs, we can look at that and think, yes, we are taking action. We are creating lasting change. So Rotary has created this overarching brand that we all know we can incorporate into our club's individual brand. Because you could look at that and say, well, my club is taking action in Guatemala. So you have the perfect example of the core Rotary brand saying we take action, and your club's brand saying, well, we take action in this location. We take action doing this particular thing. The next part of the core Rotary brand is the brand voice. So when we're talking about the key core overarching Rotary brand, we're talking about the basic qualities and goals that unite all Rotary clubs and districts. So that's what we offer to those who work with us, who join us, who participate in our activities. Rotary's brand voice is the particular way we convey, we communicate these qualities and goals. The tone we use when we talk about Rotary, the words we use. And if you have it in the email I sent last night, there is a handout that has all the Rotary brand voice information. And I really would encourage you to go through that and have a look. Whether Rotary communications are produced by clubs, districts, or RI, they should all look, feel, and sound unmistakably like Rotary. And we do that by using a consistent voice, by using consistent communication, by using consistent words. Can you imagine if in Starbucks, if one store described their coffee on their board as, I don't know, I don't drink coffee very much, but bitter, and then another store described it as fruity? There's no consistent voice, there's no consistent way to communicate our qualities and goals. So Rotary clubs have an issue by not using a voice, a cohesive voice. We're describing things in different ways, and it kind of damages the brand. When we talk about Rotary in a unified voice, we ensure that our communications capture our distinct character, our look and feel and sound unmistakably like Rotary. And we do that by using the brand voice. And I really would encourage you to go through the handout and look at your own club communications. And do you use the brand voice? Do you use a cohesive way to describe Rotary? And Rotary's put it all together for you to use. So I'm just going to give you a quick little technique for when you are describing Rotary and using the brand voice. A really great way to kind of put a cohesive message together is to use a primary message. So that would be a first sentence, simple, and used as a call to action. A secondary message, so that would reinforce the primary message and adds a bit more depth. And then you give proof, or another call to action, give the audience a reason to believe you. And I want to give you one example from the Rotary Voice handout, just to show you how it really can make a difference if we all use the same wording. So if we all said this when we were describing Rotary as a whole, it would make a big difference. So example, primary message would be, Rotary is a community of 1.2 million men and women from all continents, cultures, professions, and experiences who connect through our local clubs. And then the secondary message would be, together with our partners, neighbours, and friends, we're providing clean water, building local solutions to bring clean water and sanitation services to more people every day. And then the final message would be proof or a call to action. With Rotary, you'll find countless opportunities to create meaningful change in your community and around the world. Get involved today at, and then you could add your website. So that's a really simple way to describe Rotary. And if we all use the same Rotary voice in our communications when describing the overarching Rotary brand, it can really make a big impact. So next I'm going to talk about the logo. So as I said at the beginning, the logo isn't our brand, but it's vital to the brand. The logo distinguishes you from the competition. So we want to be known for all the good work we do as Rotarians. So the logo is the stepping stool, like the prompter to help people think about your brand, to help get that gut feeling going. So whatever your club brand is, you start with your logo. And next I'm going to show you just a little video with some more information about how to use the Rotary logo.
Hello to all of our presidents, presidents-elect, public image chairs, webmasters, AGs, DGs, DGs in training, PDGs, anyone involved in promoting our Rotary brand. Phew! Did I get everybody? As we settle into our new roles for the year within Rotary, we all have much to learn and only a short period of time to learn it. With this in mind, I'm asking for 5 minutes of your time to talk about our Rotary brand. Let's get started. What do you notice about the graphic? The logo is the first thing you see, the tip of the iceberg of your Rotary brand. But it is really only a small part of your brand and Rotary brand experience. We have an opportunity to strengthen our brand by making sure we are using the logo correctly, and this video will help you do that. No bull. For many years, our Rotary wheel stood alone as our logo on signage and communications materials. Although the words Rotary and International were embedded in the wheel, they were hard to read from a distance. As a result, the general public did not always recognize Rotary's involvement in a project or activity. That's why we decided to expand our official club logo to include the word Rotary next to the wheel. In the upper left on the screen is Rotary's master brand signature. Down to the right is what is known as the Rotary Club signature. The Rotary Club signature consists of the master brand signature plus the club name and should be used instead of the master brand signature on all club level communications. Please note the emphasis on all club level communications. This carries over to any custom shirts your clubs may want to produce as well. We wouldn't want any bull shirts. The old two-color Rotary wheel has been replaced with the new single-color, more contemporary wheel. This is the wheel you should use. Here's one of the don'ts. Stretching the logo is never acceptable. The Rotary Master Brand colors are a very specific blue and gold. In this slide, we have a couple of examples of someone's good intentions gone bad. Changing the colors to match a holiday theme or a Rotary fundraiser program are not acceptable. Changing the font on the word Rotary or the club identifier is a no-go. The font is an integral part of our brand identity. Let's talk about the Mark of Excellence, aka the wheel. Always use it big. Our Mark of Excellence is a symbol of our leadership. It should appear large on high-impact communications to make a bold statement and promote a sense of urgency. Keep it near the master brand signature at all times. On a special note, the Mark of Excellence should always appear with one of our signatures and never alone. But like everything in life, there is an exception to the rule. It's preferred to use the wheel by itself for the profile picture for your club's Facebook page. Really, that's no bull. Applying special effects such as embossing or drop shadows to the master brand signature are definite no-nos. Rotary has been working hard to show the world a consistent brand image. Applying these types of effects only helps to dilute the message we are trying to send to our communities. Spinning Rotary wheels are a big nope. Another nope in this image is incorporating the wheel into the design. The wheel should always be a separate graphic element and not part of the design. When working on a joint project with another organization, the Rotary Master Brand signature should always be displayed on the left with a gray vertical line to separate our brand from the partner's logo. This is what is known as a Rotary Partner Lockup. I wanted to make you aware that Rotary has created the simplified signature for digital small use in confined spaces. As you can see in this slide, the words Rotary and International have been removed from the wheel for better reproduction when used at a reduced size. I'm going to make this easy for you. If you have any doubts, use this style of logo. How's that for cutting through the bull? Want to learn more about the proper use of our logo and branding materials? Please visit the Rotary Brand Center for more info on how to properly display the Rotary Master Brand signature. While you're visiting the Rotary Brand Center, look for this guide. You can download it under the Our Story tab on the Brand Center homepage. This is the No Bull Guide to have. Thanks for shooting the bull with me today about the proper use of our logo.
Just to be super clear, the old logo should not be used anywhere. And if your club is still using it, there's no leeway. You need to remove it. You need to use the updated logo as soon as possible. We're brand ambassadors, and we should be representing the best face of Rotary with one unified message and one unified logo. For Rotary to increase their brand prominence, we need a clear, unified, consistent message from all clubs using the same logo. And if you ever need help with logos, you can always email me, and I'm more than willing to help you. And so here's an example of the logo and the Rotary brand voice. So if we look at the top example, they're using the old logo, and the way they're communicating about Rotary is we meet weekly for lunch at the golf course. We enjoy fellowship and service. We stand by the four-way test. In summer, we only meet every other week. Call Sally to join. If we look at the one below, we're using the correct logo, and their description of Rotary is using the Rotary brand voice. It says Rotary joins leaders from all continents, cultures and occupations. We exchange ideas, bring our expertise and diverse perspectives to help solve some of the world's toughest problems. And we take action to bring lasting change in our communities around the world. Why not come and join us for lunch to find out more? Now, can you imagine if all of us used the correct logo and the correct Rotary brand voice and how we communicated about the overarching Rotary brand, what a difference and what an impact and what a cohesive impact that would make for the Rotary brand. So far I've spoken about the overarching Rotary brand. So this is the Rotary brand that stays constant. It's our vision statement, it's our logo, it's our voice. All these things communicate what is the core of our brand. But it's flexible, and our clubs are all different. So we need to look at our club branding within the overarching Rotary brand. So brands evolve all the time as it connects with people around the world. While the heart of the brand, its structure remains constant, it makes sense that the main Rotary vision adapts at the club level. The goal of this presentation is to get you to lay a clear brand for your club and ways that you can promote it, so you can control your club's brand and the people's impression, people's gut feeling of your club, all within Rotary's overall brand. Because probably what the public thinks it knows about your name brand, your club's brand, is different to what you think your club brand is. So you can see your club name and you get a gut feeling about what it is, but that's probably very different to what the public thinks when it sees your name brand, and that's what we want to work on. Think of it as, what do we want people to think about our clubs? And we have to show them by telling our Rotary stories in a unified way, so all our interactions have a clear and concise message. So we need to work out what is our club brand. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the Rotary Club of Irvine, I guess. They're in America, and what they did was they sat down and they said, what is our club brand? Who are we as a club? How do we want people to think of us when they see our club name? And then they developed their club brand, and then they incorporated that club brand into all their promotional materials. So I want to show you what they did, so you can get an idea of how you can do that for your clubs. So this is how the Rotary Club of Irvine wanted to be thought of. This is what they thought their club brand was. They're fun and friendly, sense of humor required, diversity of people, age and gender, diversity of projects, so project for everyone, and families are welcome. Bring a kid, parents, grandparents, cat, dogs. So this is their 4 brand goals. There's not a lot of them, there doesn't have to be. And your club will probably have different brand goals to this club, but you can see it's very clear and concise, and they took this and then they incorporated in all their marketing materials. The first thing they did was they updated their club logo. So they made sure everything had the correct logo on. So I would love if everybody goes back to their club and make sure they have the correct club logo on everything. And make sure you check your club newsletter, because I find a lot of them use old templates. Really scour everything and update everything. Scholarship forms, like application forms, everything. And get it all on brand, the correct logo. It's easy and effective. So just to reiterate, so just check all your club materials, check that everything's using the correct language. So ensure that you're using the Rotary brand voice. I showed that example earlier. Check the club images. Now, are the images you're using showing your club's brand? Is your club's URL, your club's Facebook page always on them? Is there a way for people to interact with you to find out more? So if we look at here, this is some of the Irvine Rotary's promotional materials. So we can see here at the top, it says Irvine Rotary is ordinary people doing extraordinary things. They're using the Rotary brand voice, but it also demonstrates the club's brand too, because they want to be known as, you know, diversity of projects, you know, they're out there doing things. They're using the correct logo. They have the website and Facebook links so people can always follow up and find out more information. The logo is prominent, it's clean, you know, it really demonstrates the club. And at the bottom, you can see they have statistical proof. So they have 28 years of service, 511 community projects, number of volunteer hours, lives changed. So you can remember one of their brand goals was diversity of projects, a project for everyone. So here they're demonstrating that club brand goal by showing the impact they've had. And also they're showing on the right-hand side the different projects they do. Again, there's a project for everyone. They're versatile, they have diversity. And we see that there. And you can also look on the right bottom, the pictures. So again, they've made sure they've picked pictures that are demonstrating their club brand and showing what their club does. And so here's some examples of some pull-up banners or just some promotional things to get some ideas. And all these are trying to show a brand, right? So we have the Rotaract one on the left-hand side. The pictures they've picked are engaging. They want to show that maybe they attract younger people. So they've picked certain pictures or, you know, and the next one says, what is Rotary? Join leaders, exchange ideas, take action. This is using the Rotary brand voice. The logos are correct. They're clean, simple, and they present a cohesive message. So the Rotary Irvine works on their business cards and meeting invite cards. So they have a clear call to action on their meeting cards. They could hand out their brand messaging showing what they do, and their business cards are nice and clean and up to date. These are simple things, but they make a big difference. This is the Irvine Rotary at an event. And there's no way that you're not gonna miss them. They have prominent branding at events. They have the pull-up banners. You can see the one on the left-hand side: join leaders, share ideas, take action. The images they've picked illustrate that, demonstrate that. There's no doubt in mind. You get an impression of what this club is doing from this one pull-up banner. And it's really that simple. One pull-up banner can make an impression. It can affect your club brand, people's perception of your club brand. And I really would urge you, events you hold, make sure that your club is branded there, because this is your chance to really promote it and affect the impression people have when they see your club name and the Rotary logo. So online marketing is a really big area to take advantage of. It's a really fantastic space to get your club's brand out there. So people rely on social media and websites to get their information, especially about how to join Rotary, what is Rotary, and what does this club do. If you don't have an attractive and prominent presence online which answers these questions, you're really missing out on a lot of potential members. I mean, you all have websites, so you really should make the most of it. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to look at 2 websites. These are totally made up. This is one that I made up, but I was inspired by visiting other clubs' websites. So if you land on this website, you're interested in joining this club, what's going to be your first impression? Well, you've got a picture of scenery. I see the old logo. I got a picture of maybe Hawaii, so maybe they're a nature group. If I look at the homepage news at the bottom, it says, meeting was started by Frank singing the national anthem. The parade of board members commenced and all stood. Lunch was served. We had roast chicken, roast potatoes, and mixed vegetables. Then we started to find people. Okay, that sounds interesting. Photo albums from 2010, 2014, maybe they don't meet anymore. So this is my reaction. I'm looking at the top, see duty roster. That's kind of scary. If I don't really know, I've joined this club, I have to do all these duties. If I want to get in touch with them, how do I get in touch? My mailing address. I'm not going to send a letter to anyone asking them how to join their club. I'm not getting much information about this club. I wouldn't be enticed to join. We look at the next example. So this is another example. So you can see here we have the correct logo. We have a contact us button, which lets me send a message right away. We have pages at the top that if I click, I'm going to get answers to my questions. What is Rotary? How do I get involved? What projects are you doing? We have the description of Rotary using the Rotary brand voice. Rotary joins leaders from all continents, cultures, occupations, etc. Below, we had the latest news. Members volunteer at local food bank. Okay, so I get an idea they volunteer. I'm seeing smiling faces. I'm getting an idea about what this club is just from looking at this homepage without even clicking more. This page is a lot more impactful and gives a much better impression of your club than the previous one. And these changes are really simple to make, but if you're not making the most of this, your website, and providing this kind of information for people, showcasing your club's individual brand, then you're really missing out. Because I think only one club in our district doesn't have a website. You all have websites. You really need to make the most of them. The landing page is the first impression. You know, websites are customer facing. It's not for members. This is very important. The website is not for members. The customer-facing website is for potential members, potential partners, people who want to get in touch with us. It should be non-Rotarian friendly, so let's not use words that people outside of Rotary may not understand. They wouldn't know what the 4-way test is. You know, you have to use the right vocabulary, like volunteering. People need a reason to engage. So the moment your page appears, you need to hit people with great photos and great stories of how your club is helping your community. A visitor to your page should immediately be able to understand what your club's priorities are. And it's important to keep it up to date as well. So this is Irving Rotary's website. So I will let you know they don't use Club Runner. They do use WordPress, but the concepts still apply. We're not looking necessarily at the layout, we're looking at the content. So at the top, they have the prominent logo. And then the middle, this is their way to demonstrate their club brand. They say, we invite you, your family, and your organization to join us in sustaining the urban community as a place where families and businesses can thrive. So again, remember their club brand was families are welcome. So they're showing immediately when you come to their website, you see families are welcome. There's a picture of a child smiling, and it's connected with making a difference in the community. And this is another part of their website. I've just chopped it up so I could put it on the screen. Again, they've got a picture of people volunteering. They say on the bottom, the collective leadership and expertise of Rotary's 1.2 million members helps us tackle some of the world's biggest challenges, local and globally. So again, we're using the Rotary brand voice to describe what the overarching Rotary brand is. Now, if every club did something like this, it would enhance Rotary's brand overall and your club's individual brand. They showcase their projects on their website, so it's kept up to date. So if you have a scroll down, you can easily understand the impact they are making in their community. If you have projects, you need to showcase it. You need to shout it out on your online, because people aren't going to search through newsletters or meeting minutes to find the information. It needs to be there and easy to click on, easy to find. They have a meet our members, so they're showcasing who their members are. They want to show diversity of people, age and gender. I'm not sure, we see females, we see older people, we see younger people. You know, it's important to showcase who your members are. So just go over the key essentials for your club website. Have a cover photo. So that's the first image people see that tells the story. If you remember back to the first website I showed you with the picture of scenery, that's not telling any story. You need an image that people are going to see and understand immediately that says something about your club's brand. Use images that represent your brand goals. Use the correct Rotary logo, showcase projects, and ensure that your website copy, so that's the text, the content, is using the Rotary brand voice. Make sure that you have a Contact Us page. Club Runner has a built-in Contact Us page that is really super simple to add to your website. If you haven't done it, add it. If you don't know how to do it, email me. I will show you. It's so important to have a Contact Us page. Have a page about how to join your club. I've looked at many of our district's clubs' websites, and a lot of them don't have any information about how to join. It doesn't make sense to me. This seems to be the most logical thing to have. Step by steps, how do I join this club in a clear process? So if I'm interested, I know exactly what I need to do, and I'm not kind of confused. You know, just be really clear. Make it as easy as possible for someone to find out information about your club online. One other thing I want to quickly mention that I didn't mention before I go on to this slide is that you need to make sure you have a easy to use URL. So I said earlier that you should have your website and Facebook page on, promotional materials. If you have a URL that's portal.clubrunner.ca/17453, that is not an easy to remember URL. You should not be using this URL. You need to have a club URL. So www.irvingrotary.com. That's a far more memorable, far more easy to find URL. If you have any questions about how to set that up, if you haven't already, again, I am more than happy to help you set that up. So social media. So we're going to look at how Irving Rotary branded their social media to show their club goals. So they've got the correct Rotary wheel as their profile picture. You should not have the old Rotary wheel here at all. And their cover photo. So they've got a picture of their members smiling at a volunteer event. You immediately get an impression of this club. This club looks fun and friendly, and you remember their brand goals was to be fun and friendly. I want to join this club, I want to volunteer with them, it looks like a great time. And that's your cover photo on your Facebook page is a really good space to get the club brand across, because you can control the story, control the images that go out. You craft your Rotary and your club story to best promote your club on social media. You've got lots of opportunities to share who you are and what the impact you make. Also on the Facebook page, we have an Our Story section. This is a newer section, probably in the last year or so. And you can see that Rotary Irvine have made use of this. They've added a People of Action image. So what they've actually done is, you can't see at the bottom, but they're actually serving, I believe, pancakes or food to people. So they've made a People of Action image saying fight hunger. So they've actually used their own event to create this thing. So you look at that picture and you know, oh, they're volunteering their Rotary, they're fighting hunger. Again, you get a great impression. And then they've put a little description of their club using the Rotary brand voice. This is another great way to get your club brand across by utilizing the Our Story section on Facebook. Next thing we'll talk about is images on Facebook. These are some of the images from the Irvine Rotary Facebook page. And you can see here, every step they are making sure their club's brand is conveyed. So at the top we say, together we mentor. That's actually a photo from the club. They mentor and interview students. Now I know some clubs in our district do that too, and look how they've made the most of it. They've put together we mentor, Rotary, people of action. So you immediately understand what this club is doing. They're mentoring people. They're promoting peace. They're doing a food drive. They're volunteering. They're fighting hunger. On the top right-hand side, we see children volunteering. Remember, they're family friendly. You can bring your children. I hope you can see here, like just by the images, they are conveying their club brand in every step. You know, this is yours to craft, yours to cultivate. They make use of events on Facebook. So they create events for all their activities and their meetings, and they encourage their members to invite friends and to share. If people go on your Facebook page and they see all your events, they get an idea of, one, what you've done, what you're doing, and they also can join if they want to. It's a really great way to convey what your club does, what you're passionate about. So I wanted to show you now the use of video on Facebook. So this is a video that Irvine Rotary created and posted on Facebook about an event. So you can see how impactful that was. Like, you can imagine watching that, and it's a really great way to convey what your club does. Videos are one of the favorite type of content for people on Facebook. If you want to do this, it's super easy to actually make, and you can download an app and create the video. If you've added your email into the chat section, I will send you a list of resources, and on there are some suggestions for video apps for Facebook. This is really simple to make, really easy to do, and it really helped convey the club brand, what they are, and show that they're fun, friendly, and they're out there and doing things. I feel that we as a district and as clubs are not making the most of videos on Facebook. So some kind of top branding tips for Facebook. Try and update your cover photo every month if you want. It's not an essential, but it is a nice way to kind of keep things fresh. Avoid photos of people sitting eating, of people getting a check, people shaking hands, people looking miserable. Remember, you need to make sure every photo you add to Facebook is on brand for your club and conveys a key message. Or why not promote your speakers on Facebook. Before they get a picture, maybe add a little bio and post that to kind of get people interested. Make sure you show your club helping other people. You know, your Facebook page is yours. And like I said before, it's yours to cultivate, yours to kind of bend to what you want to represent your club as. Make the most of it. And encourage people to encourage club members to invite people to like your Facebook page too. You know, share posts, encourage people to do that. It's okay to ask people to share posts. So it's really important to make that first impression count. You know, Irving Rotary started out with, they set out some clear goals, you know, fun friendly, diversity of people, diversity of projects, families are welcome. And then they made sure that every single marketing material adhered to these club brands. So you're left walking away, even now from this short little presentation of the club, you're left walking away with an impression of this club, this gut feeling of this club's brand. And that's what we need to do. We need to work on people's gut feeling when they see our club's name, what they think our club's brand is. So you want your community to have a really clear understanding and impression of who you are within Rotary's overarching brand structure. So I encourage you to really look at your club materials and ask, do they represent your club brand? What do they say about your club to someone who is not a member of your club? And that's the biggest thing. We have to look at everything we do as, what does this say to a non-Rotarian? We can't do this now, but I do want you to kind of look at these questions and think about them and take them back to your club. I mean, I even encourage you to see if you can make a club meeting one, a brainstorming one, where you sit down and figure out what your club goals are. I think that'd be very, very, very beneficial to people. All right, well, it was lovely to present about club brand.